Hey, Bill and Cindy, thanks for the pictures. Great property, great landscape, and I think you could do some really fun stuff with this. Where I would probably start is kind of in this front bed here, this front tree. I would love to see you guys throw a couple accent lights on that. So I'll pretty much talk about 2 lights throughout this design, but what I would do is I would look at the up and accent light here, and then some path and garden lights. The only difference I would do is that these ones that we have here are 12-inch risers, and you might want to look at doing an 18-inch riser. So let me know what you think of the thoughts, and I can kind of customize a kit for you a little bit more to meet your needs. But I would probably, because this is such a big tree, I'd probably try and get an accent light. When I say accent light, uplight, spotlight, they're all the same thing. You just call them different things. But I'll call it an uplight. But I would probably try and get an uplight on this side of the front of the tree, and then on the other side, because it is such a big tree, I think you're going to want to have 2 lights that really highlight this one. I would leave this front area here, and then I would start focusing a little bit more back here. I love see the pictures here. I love the landscape and what you guys have done. So I'll walk through this part of it, but the way I would probably do this is I would definitely try and get an accent light again. Same thing, still in the mulch, but at kind of the base of this tree that would highlight this one, because it is a fairly wide branching tree. If I go back to this picture, you might want to consider doing the same thing and trying to get this from 2 sides. Not too far out, but I mean kind of over here and kind of over in here, and get 2 lights on that one, because I do suspect that it is going to get a little bigger and a little bit wider. So that is a tree that you might want to do too. And then same thing on a big tree like this. This is another one where I think 2 lights is really going to help just make that effect pop. And I would try and, again, same thing, just on both sides of the tree from whatever angle you wanna look at. I would suspect that most people are going to be looking at it kind of from the street side here, so kind of one call it front side and front side that really get up high and really focus on the stem and the branching structure of this tree. So no question I would focus on those 3 big trees. I think those are going to give you the biggest pop and wow value. And then for the rest of the garden, kind of like what you guys have done, I would just focus on some path and garden lighting. The reason I talk about the 12-inch versus the 18-inch riser is because some of these boulders are quite big. I think you're going to want to get that light a little bit higher up. So that's why you might want the 18-inch riser. I love using path and garden lights anywhere where you have big, beautiful stones like this. And that's where I would probably try and, throw on kind of in here, and then back in here, and then back in here. And then if we keep going through these pictures, yeah, in some of these areas, again, this stuff gets pretty dense, so you're definitely going to want some higher path lights in there for sure. I think throwing one 18-inch path light in here would do a really good job of not only highlighting this, but the step area a little bit. And then I like that you guys do have some uplights here, and I would continue with that same focus. Even though we're doing some of these bigger trees, I still think these would be really nice trees to light up. Because they are so multi-branched, it's still going to look really good in the wintertime because there's so many different features and stems and branches for the light to reflect off of. So I would still do just like what you guys have done here on both of these trees. I think would do a really good job as well. And then, yeah, so some better pictures here. So you have a kind of a path light up in there that's going to do a job of lighting kind of this area, and then maybe you've got one on that side of the bush, you've got one back here that's going to kind of light this area, you've got this area lit, and then you're going to maybe move one, probably back in here somewhere, that's going to kind of do this, and then another one back here that's going to kind of get this area. And because you guys do have a walkway here, yeah, for sure you're going to want, so if we look at this, you'd have kind of one there, probably one over there. Then I would probably try and throw one somewhere in here that's going to reflect off these backlights and light that walkway area. And I would say that's about it. So I mean, you might be looking at 1, 2, then on the 3 big trees another 6, so call it 8 uplights, and then a few path lights throughout the property. 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 or 6. So yeah, so call it 8 uplights and 6 path lights. I think would do a really good job. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the idea of the 18-inch riser, which I do, because I'd love for you guys to be able to show off those big beautiful stones a little bit more. Let me know and I can kind of customize a kit a little bit better for you. And if you have any questions outside of hopefully what I answered for you guys, just let me know. All right, thanks so much, guys.
Thanks again for watching, guys, as we show you how to easily install low voltage landscape lighting. So there's various different lights you can look at. The most popular is easily the uplight, accent light, or bullet light, often used to highlight different trees and features in your yard. Another very popular light is a wash light, often used to highlight the fronts of homes and beautiful stonework. Path and garden lighting is also very popular, to use to light walkways and garden areas and plant material down below, as well as hardscape lighting, which is used in different kinds of hardscapes as well as on fences and decks, and can also create some cool effects. And a great way to see what looks good is just to take a flashlight or any kind of light around at night, shine it on a few of those features, and really see what looks good and where you're going to position those lights. I strongly recommend looking at LED energy efficient bulbs for all of your landscape lighting. It saves on power and it lasts a long time. You see they only use 40 watts, 260 lumens, is very bright, and they still have that warm white look that you would find in an incandescent fixture. And if you have an existing landscape lighting system that is incandescent, it's very easy to retrofit with LED bulbs, again, just to save power and not have to be changing bulbs all the time. What we often recommend is go and find really good quality outdoor rated LED bulbs, and then go find really good incandescent fixtures, and just marry the two together and retrofit your incandescent fixtures with really good quality LED bulbs, and it'll help bring the cost down rather than going and buying a fully integrated LED fixture, which looks good and lasts a long time, but they do cost a lot more than doing this and just finding a really good fixture and retrofitting it with a really good bulb. So once you know where you're going to put your lights and you have your lights picked out, the next step is to start placing your lights. So we've determined where they're going to go. Start by digging just a small hole and just preliminarily placing your lights. I recommend using a rubber mallet so that you can really pound those ground stakes in and give them some good stability. Screw your light in afterwards so you can really get it in there. Make sure everything's level, and then from there you start laying out your wire once you got all your lights in place, and be sure to leave extra wire at every fixture just to give yourself some wiggle room. Connecting the lights is quite simple. When you make your splice in your wire, you'll have a wire going in and a wire going out for each connection, as well as your fixture wire, and at every light you're going to have 2 of those connections. I recommend a good waterproof connection, either a gel-filled snap lock connector or these gel-filled DBRY connectors that come in 2 parts, that you have a moret that screws on and keeps the wires tight, and then the wire fills into a gel-filled tube that keeps the water out. So just be sure to make sure you're getting good waterproof connections that keep the wires free of the elements, as well as keep them from pulling apart. The next step is selecting your transformer. Very easy to do. If you look on any bulb that you purchase, it should give you the wattage, but if you have a 4.5 watt bulb and you have 10 of those, that's going to give you 45 watts, which means you want to select a transformer that's just slightly bigger than that. And I recommend trying to find a transformer that has a photocell as well as a timer built into it for easy use. Very easy to wire in your transformer. Depending on the transformer you have, it's generally going to have a common tap and a 12-volt tap. You just put 1 wire into each tap, screw them down tight, mount your transformer close to your GFCI receptacle so that you can get power, plug it in, turn it on, and go and make sure all your lights work before you start burying any wire. So once you've checked all your lights and everything works, you can start burying them. One thing I would recommend is looking at the Weon outdoor Wi-Fi switch. Is a great tool if you want to make your landscape lighting system totally smart and Wi-Fi operated. To bury the wires, very easy with a flat-ended shovel, creating a trench that's 6 to 8 inches deep, spreading the turf open and pushing that wire down and stomping it down within no time at all. It looks like you haven't even been there. And in the mulch, it's just a matter of pulling it back and creating a path to lay down that wire, stapling it down and burying everything over that. So hopefully that helped. And if you have any questions, by all means, you can always reach out to us and follow us on Facebook.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching that video. I hope you guys got some great ideas for your own do-it-yourself landscape lighting projects. If you want your own free consultation video, like I said before, email me your pictures at cal@lightingdoctor.ca or go and visit us at lightingdoctor.ca, and be sure to check out our Try It Before You Buy It light, again, where you get one premium grade fixture and a King Innovation Instalight battery operated demo kit that you can go and test those lights out on your property before you make any big purchases. So I hope to see you guys again soon, and again, go get your free consultations by emailing your pictures or visit us at lightingdoctor.ca. Thanks so much for watching.